Hey folks, this is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce right here for the 23rd of April 2014. How y'all doing today? I am so glad you're listening to this. There's so much going on. I want to direct your attention to the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com for more information about the show. There we go. I'll turn up some volume here. I know that a lot of you are wondering where I stand, what I stand for, where I'm at politically, and all of that. Well, first of all, just to give you a heads up before the break here, when I was younger, I registered to be. I registered as a Democrat because of my folks, because, the parents were, that's what they were. And so after researching and digging into all of that and digging into what the Democratic Party stood for and what their origins were and all of this, I decided, that's not for me. So the next presidential election, I believe it was, I registered as a Republican, and again spent years researching, talking to, and investigating who they were and what their origins were, and figured out not my cup of tea on that one. I'm neither conservative nor liberal. I'm not any of those labels. I'm not Democrat or Republican. And so for many, many years, I've been independent, or nonpartisan, as the technical term of it is. And so I would rather vote for independent parties, libertarian parties, party members, than I would anybody else, that is in the Democratic or Republican Party. Now, after almost 20 years of research and more, literally, but looking at the parties specifically, I began to research a lot of them. And let me tell you something, folks. That was really loud. That was my cell phone that I forgot to turn down. Let me tell you something, folks. Your votes don't count. None of it counts. The parties are a waste of time. Affiliating yourself with certain parties are just a waste of time. Unless you have big money on both sides, which really we know as progressives. If you have big money on both sides, then, you can be a part of those parties. You can be a member of those parties. It's pretty much who has the most money gets into the party that will benefit them the most. There is no, technically speaking, when you get right down to it, there is no parties. There is no political parties in this country as far as Democrat or Republican or whatever it is, conservative, liberal, whatever. There is no parties per se. We have philosophies that that we see politically, and we gear ourselves to back or support those political entities that we feel will benefit us, even though the little mom and pops around the area don't have a whole lot of money to contribute to political parties. If you're rich, wealthy, and well-to-do, you got all the say in the world because you can just buy your politicians, okay? So, anyway. Folks, I'll be right back. Go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show.weebly.com. Email me at from the website if you'd like, or at Free America Radio at USA.com. That's Free America Radio at USA.com. If you're into liberty and libertarian values, tune in to The Angel Clark Show, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, at radiofreedom.us. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Come join Diana Nelson and I on Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show on Friday evenings at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 midnight Eastern. Whatever is on your mind is probably on our mind as well. Come join us on Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday evenings at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 midnight Eastern. Only on Spreaker.com. Welcome back, folks. This is, if you were here the first 5 minutes, welcome back. If you're here just now, hey, hello, how you doing? This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show, 23rd of April, 2014. Lots of things going on. As you can tell, it's a podcast. It's not live. So please email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to the website, thewaynesPierceshow.weebly.com, and get some more information there. And you can also email me from there as well. Oh my God, what's happening that you don't already know about? I mean, what do I need to tell you? I mean, the government is completely and utterly out of control, and they're really after you, okay? And as far as I can tell, from my perspective, I don't think there's a situation that has been so overblown. I don't even want to use that word either. It's been so underreported, let's put it that way. Underreported in terms of the magnitude of what it stands for and what the results will be for the American people. And that is the Bunkerville, Nevada situation with the Cliven Bundy and his family. The bottom line is, when you look at it all and when you examine every piece, and let me just tell you this right now. Don't believe anything coming from the state-run media. ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, none of those, because they're all lying to you. They always have, they always will. That's controlled opposition. I don't even want to call it opposition. It's controlled media, and it's controlled by, organizations like Media Matters, who meets once a week at the White House to design and create and implement stories from there. And they get their marching orders, basically, from the White House. But this whole thing with the Bundy Ranch and with Cliven Bundy, you have to understand one valuable thing: states' rights, period. I don't give a crap what anybody else says, never have, never will. When you look at the bottom line, when you examine the truth, when you examine the facts, you will see it's all about states' rights. Everybody's saying Cliven Bundy said he's not going to pay his fees or grazing, but you know what those fees are? They're taxes, folks, period. So Cliven Bundy didn't say he wasn't going to pay him. He said he wasn't going to pay him to the federal government. He'll pay him to the state, but he's not going to pay him to the federal government because he wants that money to go to the state, to the people, not to the federal government, because he doesn't believe in his federal government. And he was all of that fear, and if it was, and all of those thoughts that he had about his federal government literally became reality when they came out with the BLM and started stealing his property and destroying his cattle. It's come out already. I mean, you see this stuff. But here's the other thing. States' rights. The state has a right. Each individual in that state has a right to their own property, period. We fought about that in the 1800s. We fought about that in the early 20th century. Each individual has a right to a free, when I say free, we have a right. Let me rephrase that because I don't want you taking this out of context. We have a right. Each individual has a right to their own property without government interference. Period. End of sentence. Now, if you don't believe that, then pack your crap and get the hell out of America because you don't belong here. I got in a big discussion about some other things with a friend of mine, and actually, I'll get into that here in a bit. But this whole thing with the Bundy Ranch, I support Cliven Bundy and his family. If I was down there now, I'd be down there. I live in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada, and we're about 9.5 hours away from there. We're north of there, or northwest of there anyway. And so when you examine the facts and you examine the overall, disagreement, you'll find that the federal government is in the wrong, period. Oh, let's not stop there, shall we? Senate Majority Leader Senator Harry Reid, Democrat of Nevada, has his hands in this cookie jar and he can't get them out because, and here's where all these other speculative rumors come in that people are saying, well, that's not true. Harry Reid doesn't have anything to do with it. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. And as far as I'm concerned, him and his son need to be arrested and thrown in jail. Period. Harry Reid needs to retire, needs to go off somewhere, needs to go back to Searchlight, Nevada, where he was born. Actually, that is probably not where he was born, but I'm, speculating on that as well. But the fact of the matter is he has his fingers in a lot of pies. Okay, there was a show I was listening to that told, and a person on the show told of Harry Reid's background in terms of where he got his money, where he married into money, blah, 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 blah. He'll deny all that, of course, if you ask him to his face, but the thing is that he's got, let's put it this way, he's got a lot of bad blood on his hands. And people are trying to keep him safe so that he can continue his political career. I'm pretty sure he may, if he, sticks to his guns and whatever, and no pun intended, and the people protecting him stick to their, way of doing things, he's going to be like Strom Thurmond and stay there until he's, dead probably. But Harry Reid needs to be arrested and thrown out. I look at it this way. If a political person, if a person who is running for public office, running for governor, senator, House representative, whatever, it doesn't matter, even the president or vice president, if it is found out that they lied, that they perjured themselves in any type of investigation, they should immediately be arrested and thrown in prison. Period. That means, yes, go into the White House and arrest every single damn one of them politicians who lied to you. Well, how are we going to run the country? Oh, believe me, there's hundreds and hundreds of people that would love to run this country the way it should be run. Okay? Considering the fact that from Clinton on up, to now, none of the presidents were ever in the military. Prior to Clinton, yep, all of them were in the military. So Harry Reid needs to be put on trial. And there's a current citizens investigation into this. and into his dealings in the past and currently. So that's all going to come out. And it's going to expose Harry Reid and his family for the criminals and corrupt people that they are. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Nevada is the most corrupt state in the United States. Now, why do I say that and why do I live here? The show I was listening to, somebody asked the other day, I think it was Friday or something, last Friday, somebody asked a very good question. Why does the federal government, Washington, D.C., when they're not allowed to, and it's against the law for them to even own any land, why is it that 84 to 85% of Nevada the land is owned by the federal government? That's a good question, considering that most of that land is down south in southern Nevada. Can you say Area 51? You know, there's a lot of speculation going on and in that regard, and of course investigations are taking place as we speak, but the fact of the matter is that people are being duped into believing what the federal government is saying. Now, how is that? Well, it's called neuro-linguistic programming. Go look it up. Neuro-linguistic programming. So the federal government is now looking at other things. Harry Reid said it ain't over with this, Bundy Ranch situation. President Obama is going to, I think, Japan or something to talk about the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which is literally going to suspend the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America, which literally means we'll have no rights, no Second Amendment, no First Amendment, no nothing. And we won't be able to write anything on the internet that we want. It'll severely suppress our ISPs. I mean, it's a nightmare. Okay? And here is the conclusion of that, or here, basically, let me tell you exactly what the government is trying to do. They're trying to push us into the corner to where we strike first. Once we, the people, strike first against the government's going to unleash the UN military, the NATO military, whatever it is, whatever the UN has, the blue helmets, onto the American people like freaking rabid pit bulls, and the federal government is going to point fingers and say, those people did it, and they're going to come after us. That's what they're hoping we will do. That is why I say peaceful protest, all of that, and we're going to get this country back in a very peaceful way. But if they, the federal government, do not want peace, and they push us to the very brink, then we have no other choice but to defend ourselves in this situation. Much like what happened at Bunkerville at the Bundy Ranch. Okay? And, Cliven Bundy called upon people, and within a matter of a week to a week and a half, 2,000 people showed up. And the BLM went, oh crap, we did something wrong. And they tried to cover their tracks, and they tried to do as much as they possibly could with the time that they had, the BLM did. And so once the regular citizens got there to defend Bundy and his family, the BLM had already committed crimes and did all that, and then pulled out once they had enough. Once they knew that they were getting found out, they just pulled out. And so as far as I'm concerned, the BLM, and it is on record, the BLM is a private company contracted with the United States government through the Department of Interior. Okay? So, what is the conclusion of all of this? What's going to happen? Well, it's going to be we the people. We the people are going to stand up and finally say enough's enough. Or, I don't know how many people are out there that are saying enough is enough, but enough is enough. I'm telling you now, enough is enough. We need to stop this bull crap. We need to tell the federal government, we're done with you. We need to, figuratively, metaphorically speaking, cut Washington, D.C. off and throw it in the Atlantic where it belongs, along with the Vatican, along with the City of London Corporation. We need to throw them all away. That's who's running the world, folks. Go check it out. Okay? So, anyway, I'll be back right after this. We the people have the power, for we are America. The views expressed live on the Free America Radio Network, freeamericaradio.us. Waking up the masses. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for your consumption. Waking up the masses. News and views concerning the New World Order. Waking up the masses. Join Bob Brutus as he pulls back the curtain on the esoteric agenda which has been in play for a millennia. Waking up the masses. WakingUpTheMasses.com. Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 23rd of April, 2014. Lots of things happening. If you want to email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Go to the WayneSPierceShow.weebly.com. Check it out. If you want to sponsor the show, you can. Go check out the sponsors page there. Those figures, those numbers, those prices are exactly what you're going to pay, no more, period. Because I don't believe in just because you make a whole lot of money doesn't mean I have to take it. I'm going to make you a deal, and that's the deal right there. So, if you don't want to sponsor the show, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But if you want to donate, you can do that too. A one-time donation is going to help this show out a great deal. And I appreciate all of your support. So anyway, what have we... Now, I have a question here, and then I'll go to break and come back. But my question is this. Take into consideration who you are, where you are, and what you're doing. Just look at yourself right now. Now, ask yourself this question. What am I going to do next? You see all this stuff happening around you with militarized law enforcement and the whole nine yards. What are you going to do next? That's a great question, isn't it? I think so. I shall return right after this.
Sarasota's home for R&B and soul. The Razor Blade Express with Dave the Rave.
Shall we play a game?
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? And it was a disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost. Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that As a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. So the perfect world was a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization.
I am wondering, why are you here?
Welcome back, folks. How you doing? You can email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Lots of things going on. We have midterm elections coming up. Let's make sure all you vote out those thieves and liars that were in there that duped you into believing they were going to work for you. If our votes still count. And here's an experiment, folks. Here's an experiment. I'm not the only one that came up with this, but here's how I'm going to put this. Look at your politicians. Look at the people running. Look at the people running for the midterm, and look at the people campaigning for 2016. Look at who they are. Examine everything about them. And when they start talking about God and about this, and we need this, and we need that, examine what their personal preferences are when it comes to benefiting themselves. I mean, look at, just examine that portion of it. And then, here's what you need to do as the experiment. Watch them. Okay? Watch what they do. Watch what they say. Watch how they interact with other people. And if you have a chance to meet them and shake their hand, watch how they greet you. Okay? There's a reason why I say that. But also, examine the past. How many people have been so gregarious in their approach to getting you to vote for them? How many people have done things that have really helped you decide that they needed your vote? Okay, what did they do to sucker you in? Okay, this is what I'm saying. That's in the past, but look at today. If they're doing the same thing, whoever it is doing the same thing as past politicians you saw, don't vote for them. Do not vote for them. And I'll tell you why, and it's real simple. They're going to lie to you to get into office, and then their handlers, their controllers from other groups in the shadow government are going to come along and say, yeah, we know what you said on the campaign trail, but now here's what you're really going to do. So that's a whole issue unto itself. But anyway, yeah, just watch what they do. We have people like Joe Biden, the vice president, making all sorts of gaffes. Holy crap. Okay? I mean, seriously, folks, do you really think he needs to be president after what he said? Here, listen to this.
The affirmative task we have now is to actually create a new world order, because the global order is changing again. And the institutions and rules that worked so well in the post-World War II era for decades, they need to be strengthened, and some have to be changed. So we have to do what we do best. We have to lead. We have to lead.
Did you hear that? Seriously. Did you hear what the Vice President Joe Biden said? That was at a dinner of some sort. But a new world order. Excuse me? No, Mr. Biden. I'm not going to accept that. Even though in the last 200 and some odd years of the United States of America, even though prior to that as well, there has always been this idea that one group is going to dominate the whole world. Well, that's been going on for thousands of years, even within the Egyptian and in every single empire on the face of the planet. The Egyptian Empire, the Russian Empire, the Chinese Empire, the Japanese Empire, everybody wanted to rule the world, except they came across an immovable object called liberty and a bunch of people that wanted freedom and wanted to be free of any type of government intervention or any type of interference from government. And I'll tell you what, right now, this current regime, they think that they're going to be able to do what they do to stop us. It ain't going to happen. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people might be killed in a revolution, but in the end, it's going to be we the people standing on top of the mountain looking down on all those politicians that thought they had us in their hot little hands, and we're going to throw their asses in jail. And a big, massive prison is going to hold all those politicians that voted for every tyrannical law in this country. They're going to be thrown in jail, and they're going to have 3 squares a day and a mat. A lot of people may not agree with that, but I guarantee you this, that when you look back on the history of America and the history of other countries that have fought for freedom, not as much as we have here, but when they're still fighting thousands of years later for freedom for individuals. But the United States of America has lasted 238 years, and people have fought to hold those freedoms, to secure those freedoms, to keep those freedoms. And when you look back in history, you can see how much that mattered to people. I mean, when you also looking at several things in my years of being on this planet, I can tell you that the history books that you had in high school when you and I were in high school, compared to what's being taught now, all of it, even what we were taught, all of it is a complete and utter lie. All of it. Okay? Now, getting on to some other things as well. You can go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. I don't have a whole lot up there. So, let's go to Free America Radio. Give you a little taste of what's coming up on the Views Express Live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Sheriff Mack calls out Glenn Beck. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Yeah, go check that out as well. Also, Infowars.com, Paul Joseph Watson writes, New York Homeland Security encourages businesses to snitch on preppers as terrorists. Also from the Examiner, liberals on Twitter demand feds kill Bundy family supporters with drones. From MacedoniaOnline.eu, Rothschild inherits patent after 4 co-owners disappeared on MH370 flight. From WorldNet Daily, WND, Oklahoma militia joining fight with feds. From GOPTheDailyDose.com, Obama wastes $34 million on a building no one will ever step foot in. You want to go check that one out? I'll talk more about that one TopRightNews.com, Harry Reid, quote unquote, something will happen to stop rancher Cliven Bundy. That's what Harry Reid says. Told you. He's a frickin' criminal. Get him out of office. Evolve Fest on Facebook has something here. It's really short. I'll read it. The Babylonian Trinity of City-States Corporations. The Vatican, Babylonian Religion. Washington, D.C., Babylonian Military Might. City of London, Babylonian Banking and Finance. All of these city-states are privately owned. None of them pay taxes, since you cannot pay taxes to yourself. The richest people on the planet are citizens of these states and pay no taxes. They travel the globe as they please. For them, no borders exist. So it is time for you to ask yourself, what is the nature of the cage you were born in? Dismantle tyranny. Unplug all control systems. How do you unplug? Stop playing their game by their rules. The bridge to London is definitely falling down. There's a picture there of the City of London Corporation. Most people don't have the courage to share this. This small city country, this small little country that almost no one has heard about, funded all sides of World War I, World War II, and will start World War III if we do not stop them. Also from WorldNet Daily, WND.com, BLMI's takeover of 90,000 acres in Texas. And another picture from WND, America's newest hero. Meet the real Cliven Bundy. He's on a horse with an American flag. And, of course, from Infowars.com, Homeland Security purchased 25 million shotgun rounds. 25 million shotgun rounds. And then some stuff I'm going to highlight from yesterday. And on the Views Express today, also, if we have time to get into those articles, on the Views Express today, I'll have Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker, his Facebook page, Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. I'm going to have him on the show today, and we're going to talk about all this stuff. We're going to talk about the overreach. We're going to talk about voting. We're going to talk about you name it. We're probably going to talk about it if we have time. And we're going to get into a lot. And it's always good to have him on. And he's very, very insightful with the things that he knows, and I'm always learning something new too. So, so come join us on the Views Express live at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com, or on freeamericaradio.us, or wakingupthemasses.com over there as well. And you can listen to me, Georgia. Hey, Georgia, your governor did it right. I applaud you. You can listen to the Views Expressed on 1610 a.m. In the Chickamauga, Georgia area. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Looking forward to a lot of things to talk about. Hopefully, by the end of the week, I can get Bob Brutus on, who is the host of, the owner of Waking Up the Masses Radio Network and host of Kicking the Capstone and Waking Up the Masses. Hopefully I can get him on by the end of the week. Also, I'm going to try to get a guest on next week, Brian Lang of Live Truth Radio, and try to get him on and get his take on what's happening, and of course have him promote whatever he's promoting. So it's just amazing, folks, that we have the regime. It's the only word I can think of. The regime that we have in Washington, D.C. right now. It's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. The federal government is not going to stop us. We, the people, have the powers. Like I say that on the Views Express live at the end of the show. We, the people, have the power. We are America. We need to stand up and be America. We need to stop cowering in the corner and just taking the beating that they're giving us. We're done with that, folks. We need to stand up, we need to arm up, we need to protect ourselves and our families, and we need to tell the government, get the hell out of our lives. But I don't think there's too many people out there who have the balls to do that. Okay? Because they're too, well, I don't want to get hurt, I don't want to get thrown in jail. Everything like that is an inconvenience, and I'll get fired from my job. You know, out of the hundreds of citizens militia members that were down at the Bundy Ranch in Bunkerville, Nevada, do you know that I heard some of them quit their jobs to go down there to protect a fellow citizen of the United States of America? So what kind of crap are you saying? Are you too wimpy? Grow a freaking pair there, Tinkerbell. Get out there and do what you need to do. Suck it up, Cupcake. Because when they start pounding on your door and taking your family and splitting you up, I think then you might get a clue. Okay? So anyway, I'm going to go to break. I'm going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. I shall return right after this. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I am wondering, why are you here? True or do not, there is no try. True, there is no try. True or do not, there is no try. I am wondering, why are you here?
Welcome. And you thought you can get rid of me that easily? Hey, this is the Wayne S. Pierce Show for the 23rd of April, 2014. Thank you for listening. Appreciate that very much. Go to thewaynespearceshow.weebly.com for more information and to contribute to the Free America Radio Network to help Free America Radio Network get to the next level, and to help this show out as well. Thank you very much for your support. Appreciate that. Anyway, what else? I'm not going to go much longer. So it's usually an hour. I usually do it live, but as you can tell, it's a podcast. So no Wayne S. Pierce Show live today because, well, I got a lot on my plate that I got to take care of. So anyway, I appreciate you listening. Yes, please let me know. Free America Radio at USA.com. Free America Radio at USA.com. If you have shows on Spreaker and you want me to promote them, cool. Send them. Send me a clip. Send me something, and I'll promote them. Yeah, a 30-second to a 1-minute clip about your show, that'd be cool. Yeah, and I'll put it here when I do the breaks and such. Anyway, you can send that to freeamericaradio at USA.com. Freeamericaradio at USA.com. What else, folks? What else? Can we just go as insane as we possibly can go? I mean, seriously. I mean, we I'm being sarcastic, folks, but when you know the definition of insanity, look at Washington, D.C. I mean, seriously. What kind of insane bullcrap are they trying to pull on us? most of us here in the United States are awake to what's going on. We know the tentacles that the New World Order has in this country, and we're going to cut every single one of them things off because we don't want them. We can take care of ourselves. We do that. So anyway, the one thing that I understand about people is the fact that no matter what you tell them, they're not going to believe you. So that's why I tell you all the stuff that I share with you, please go out and check it out yourself. You don't have to believe me. You know, and if you don't want to, hey, not my problem. You know, I'm straightforward, man. I'm right up in your face. I get why you don't want to understand the truth. I get that. I get that. I understand that. I don't know why you don't want to know the truth. Because it's so inconvenient, because you don't want to, oh my God. No, it's because you're an idiot. You don't want to know. Well, I'm not an idiot. Really? Then why don't you want to know the truth? Why don't you want to know the facts? Why don't you want to know the things that I've been telling you? And others have been telling you. Why? It's because you feel like you don't need to know. You don't want to know. I don't know. It's. I can criticize people all day long for not wanting to know, for not knowing, for not caring. I can do all that. But I get to a point where it's pointless. It's just not worth my energy and my time to be, revealing to the general public just how stupid these people really are that don't want to know the truth. And I laugh. I laugh in their face. And so, But anyway, I've heard a lot of people tell me, well, why aren't you more positive? People aren't really that stupid. Really? If they weren't that stupid, we wouldn't have a government and a country in the shape that it's in. Okay? Well, they're doing fine. Yeah, okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Whatever you want. No big deal. Just however you want to do that. You want to try to justify your ignorance by saying that? You go right ahead. As far as I'm concerned, you need your head examined. But that's just me. It's just from my point of view. That's just from my perspective. Okay? You can do whatever you want. As far as I'm concerned, my Second Amendment right protects your First Amendment right. And I'll be glad to do it. So anyway. Hey, folks, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go away now. And come join me on the Views Express live today at 4 p.m. Pacific. My guest is Nick Tucker from Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on Facebook. And come check it out, man. He's got a lot to say, I'm sure, in the last couple of weeks. Holy smokes. So anyway, come join us, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com, on freeamericaradio.us, and on wakingupthemasses.com, broadcasting throughout the Chickamauga, Georgia area on 1610 a.m. Hey, folks, have a great day. It's hump day. Let's go out there and enjoy ourselves and defend our liberties and freedoms. Email me, freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. The website is freeamericaradio.us. Talk to you later.